So it's been a few months since the episode of Forged in Fire that I was on aired, and I am seeing a lot of things in the knife making community I want to kind of address, and I'm not coming at this from a point of anger or frustration or anything. I just kind of wanted to throw my 2 cents out there because I may have a unique perspective having been on the show than people who have not been on the show. And primarily, a lot of the responses that I'm seeing are from people who have not been on the show, which is fine. Everyone's entitled to their opinion, and I'm not saying that you're not. What I will say is that I would like everyone to keep in mind that, first and foremost, Forged in Fire is a TV show, and TV shows are all about entertainment for profit. If they don't make money, they don't stay on the air. Forged in Fire is not going to stay on the air strictly to promote the craft of bladesmithing. And if you think that it should or it will, well, you're wrong. If it's not making money, if it's not gathering an ever-growing audience, eventually they'll pull the plug. And that's just the way TV works. And, we're seeing a lot of weirdness going on right now with them selling frying pans and cheap kitchen knives that are stamped Forged in Fire. And I think that is just an inevitable progression that you see with pretty much all successful TV enterprises. Eventually, somebody gets a hold of that license and they start making stuff stamped with that brand or that show. And it's happening with Forged in Fire. I don't like it. I don't think it's great. I think it cheapens the show, and I definitely think it doesn't do anything to represent the Smiths that have been on the show. I'm not super angry about it. It's not something that fires me up and keeps me awake. It's just something that happens because it's TV land, so get over it. They're gonna do that stuff. They're probably gonna keep doing that stuff as long as the show keeps growing. And from what I understand, the audience is still growing, and it's a successful show. They just did 40 episodes in season 5, and who knows how many episodes they have lined up for season 6. But they're going as fast and as hard as they can, because right now, again, the show is making money, so it's full steam ahead in that regard. The other thing I would like to say is that my success on Forged in Fire doesn't mean I'm a fantastic bladesmith. Someone's failure on Forged in Fire doesn't mean that they're an awful bladesmith. It just means that on a TV show, you either met the requirements and had luck and events happen in a way so that you came out on top, or you had events happen so that you went out. And that's just part of it. Again, it's a TV show with rules, and sometimes those rules are rather unforgiving. And sometimes the challenges are harder on some episodes than others. And again, that's just it. That's just the way it is. And everybody that goes on Forged in Fire knows 100% that they may be facing a really difficult, seemingly unfair challenge. No one is promised any level of success on the show or after the show. As a contestant, understand that you're walking into kind of a risky environment, and that you're sticking your neck out there on international TV to either do well or not, and to have that performance recorded forever, basically. Everybody knows that. And so that's one reason I'll say, as a bladesmith, blacksmith guy that didn't do this full time when I was going on the show, I didn't have anything to lose. If I went on the show and lost out, it wasn't going to affect my business, because I didn't have a business that was built around a reputation, so to speak. And so it's a different game for people that are super talented, bladesmiths that are already well known. It may not be the best idea to do that, because you may be risking coming out you may be risking having yourself presented in a way that you didn't expect. And so that's just part of it. Again, it's kind of a risk or a gamble, and I think for me it paid off. I won my episode, and I'm proud of that fact. I felt like I gave everything I had in the episode. I felt like I did well. I had some events happened that favored me, and I fully understand that they could have gone the other way and I could have lost, and that's fine. I am proud to be a Forged in Fire champion, but again, I don't imbue that title with any special magic. It is what it is. And so to the bladesmiths that are just absolutely dog tired about people asking them, when are you going to go on Forged in Fire? I get it. I know that that's tiring, and it's fun. I'm sure it's kind of fun to hate on the show because the show kind of does some dorky things sometimes. I totally get that, so I completely understand these guys that are sick and tired of having people ask them, when are you going Forged in Fire, when they fully have no intention on going on Forged in Fire. And I hate that it's become something that people like to ridicule. So my experience on Forged in Fire was overwhelmingly positive, both with the fun of the experience and the people there. I had a blast. I enjoyed every minute of it. The judges were all super, super nice people and very encouraging and supporting. And so I'll always look back on that experience with fondness, because even regardless of the outcome of the show, that week in Connecticut, getting to experience that kind of behind the scenes thing while getting to do something I love to do, that was really cool, and I'll never forget that, and I don't have any regrets about that. Just from a personal perspective, it was validating and rewarding and fun, and it pushed me to be a better craftsman. So I think that was a very worthwhile thing for me to have done it. But again, I don't say that that's the same for everyone. So anyway, I just wanted to go on record basically as a Forged in Fire guy and say, I understand the blowback that's happening in the community right now. And I think it's kind of a natural evolution that's going to happen. Something else I would like to add is that there's a lot of complaints about how the show doesn't represent the smiths that are sacrificing their time, possibly their employment, their salaries, or whatever they're missing while they're going on the show. That the show is not doing a good job of representing these guys. And yeah, I agree with that. They don't show your last name on the show. They don't give you any chance to promote yourself outside of the show, really. At the very least, I think they should show maybe in the credits of the show, hey, these are the Smiths, they're the first and last name. If you want to see more about them, this is where they're at. That's kind of a gripe that I agree with wholeheartedly, is that the show is doing absolutely nothing for the people that are on the show, as far as promotion or helping to promote them, because only one person's going to come out of that show winning, and everybody else is basically going home, and their expenses are paid for the trip, but the time that they took away from making money in their shop or making money at their place of employment is gone. And so for a lot of people, they could lose money by going on the show. And so to throw something in there, even just a small bit on the show, to just say who the people are, where they're from, where you can find out more about them, I think would go a long way to settling that down. The complaint about how the show is not doing anything for the Smiths. But again, it's a business, and there's a lot of legalities involved, and so I don't know if they'll ever do anything in that regard, because the legal aspects of who owns what and how they promote things, there's probably a lot of behind the scenes legalese there that I just don't understand. And so again, everybody that goes on the show understands that they are not going there to promote themselves. They're going to participate in the TV show. So that's just the way it is. I would still say if you're a bladesmith guy and you are remotely interested in trying out for the show, give it a shot. You might make it, you might not, but if you do make it, it's a lot of fun. And I've met a lot of great people as a result of being on the show. And I think the show is getting a lot of angst and hate, and I kind of wanted to give my opinion on why I think that's happening. So anyway, if you have any questions about the show or about my time there, drop them in the comments below. I'll try to address them. Thanks for watching.